Hi, it's Stephen at Goodie Goodie, and I'm making oatmeal apple cake, which is obviously made from oatmeal and an apple. Now, right off the top, I've got to tell you, I'm not an expert in baking healthy. So I do a lot of French baking and other things, but using oatmeal is totally new to me. So I'm learning more than teaching here. And the recipe I used, I thought asked for 1 cup of oatmeal and 400 milliliters of milk. Turns out it should have been 1¼ cups of oatmeal, and even that wasn't enough. I ended up adding a full 2 cups. So once you've got that mixed, take a couple of eggs, add a little bit of salt to it, and stir them up. Whisk away. This turns into a really nice mixture in the end, but gets kind of odd on the way there. Now adding some sugar. Now, again, being a really healthy recipe, they suggest using something other than sugar, another type of sweetener if you want, and I'm sure it would be good if you chose to do that. I went with sugar because that's what we do. Mixing that all up. And there goes baking powder, and whisking that. Now, for some reason, this kind of turned into a mess. It got clogged up in the whisk. I kind of hated it. I actually turned off the video, and this is what I ended up with the wooden spoon. Beautiful, really, really nice. So look at the oatmeal mixture. It's like super runny. So I had the egg mixture, and it was so thin. Again, I ended up adding more oatmeal. In our recipe, we suggest 1¾ cups of oatmeal, and I suspect that would be perfect. And now peeling an apple. That's quite a large apple I'm using here. And that's quite enough of that. And then cutting it into little tiny pieces. And through the magic of video, presto, there we are. And you can use any kind of other fruit you want. I chose blueberries because I had them, but you could use anything you've got. Now, see how thick that is now? That's more what you're looking for, not that runny mess that I was trying to deal with. Now, taking a springform pan. This is a 9-inch pan. This is another error I made. It's a little too big. I'd use a 6 or 8-inch pan so that it's a little thicker once it bakes, because what we made didn't rise very much, and it looked a little bit more like an oatmeal apple pizza than a cake. So here I am just kind of spreading that mixture out. After using some butter to grease the sides. Now this is it's a very easy recipe, which is kind of nice. It's nice to do something that isn't terribly challenging and ends up with a actually pretty nice result. So here I am adding the blueberries on the top. And the apple pieces. And finally, some little tiny pieces of butter all over the surface. And baking it at 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. Undoing our pan. I put foil around the pan, by the way, to catch any drips, so the oven doesn't get really messy. That can happen when you're using a pan like this. Looks good, doesn't it? It is good. Again, I was surprised that it didn't rise more, but maybe that's because of the fiasco with the quantity of oats, or who knows. Again, I'll say again, I'm not an expert on baking healthy desserts like this. Very nice. And it tastes really good. To me, a little underdone. I'm not 100% sure exactly even how it's supposed to taste, but I thought it was okay. So there we are, oatmeal apple cake. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to catch our show, Baking for Change, on cable channels across Canada this fall.